Man, I can hear it in your voice. You must really find this work incredibly rewarding. What do you enjoy the most about it?
So that's such a great question. I've been doing this for years. I love to tell people I have bought and sold, owned and operated more small businesses than anybody you're going to meet. And now I know when I say that, a guy like you's thinking, I'll test you on that. and that's kind of the idea, right? I'm sure there's some people out there in this world that have done more, but it makes you think through, hey, Joe must really know what he's doing. He's been around the block enough that he kind of gets this, right? And so the reason I've been doing it for so long, whether personally for myself or for clients, I just absolutely love it. It is me. I tell people, and I'm sure you've heard this 100 times, I've been self-employed since I'm 17 years old, not because it was my choice. It's because there's no way in the world anybody's going to hire Joe, right? So because of that fact, it really is part of my life.
So with that kind of background, was there this moment, this catalytic event that compelled you to get involved specifically in this arena?
Yeah, that's such a great question, and I'll try and make it as short as I can. I own the largest closed market environment restaurant concept in the Southeast. I had 40 operations in Charlotte metro area, 26 in Jacksonville, Florida, and 18 operations in Nashville, Tennessee, 5,000 square foot commissaries and all of them, and truck drivers and area managers and blah, 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 right? I read a book on how to create a money machine. It was actually a real estate book talking about how to buy a piece of property, get a second mortgage. This is back in the 80s now, right? When you could do that easy, right? And so I literally built my business by doing that. So for every operation I had, I'd have a small house, residential house that I'd buy and then get a second mortgage on, which is how I would fund the operation, right? And so that same book talked about how to create a money machine, which is when you sell the business, finance the sale, and create a cash flow. And so it took me about 3.5 years, and I sold all of those operations myself. Probably 70% of them I sold to the managers, and created this sort of informal franchise where if they needed some help, in some cases, I literally had to teach some of these women how to write checks and that sort of stuff. But I'd created this informal franchise, and I love telling people I was making about $7,000 a year less with no operational responsibility. So life was good, wow. Right? And that's when I realized, you know what? I think there's more money in selling the businesses than there ever was in actually operating them. So it was this natural progression. I got to be pretty good and proficient at selling these businesses. So I just started moving in that direction. And then it seemed to be a natural thing that if I could do it for restaurants, I could do it for other kind of businesses as well. So I created this informal capital investment firm, way back before there was a cool name for it. I was just helping people buy business and helping people, and, taking a piece on the way in, taking a piece on the way out. And so it just became this natural progression for me.